Hello, beaders. Welcome to Beachside Bead Boutique. My name is Jerry. Today, we are going a little off the rails in the best way because this is Beachy Boho gone wild. We're creating my coastal chaos stack, and there is no real plan. It's as unpredictable as the ocean itself. So let's go ahead and get beading. Okay, beaders, so the tools and the items that you're going to need to create this coastal chaos stack are: I have gold jump rings in assorted sizes. I do have some gold beading wire. I have crimp tubes and clamshells. I have bead stoppers, and then I do have these large, thicker gauge jump rings that I'm going to use for the ends. And then also this clasp, which I showed you from my last bead haul from Bead Box Bargains. And then I have bent nose pliers, round nose pliers, flush cutters, and needle nose pliers. I also have a pair of scissors and a ruler. And then I do have all my assorted beads, and this is from the Ocean Breeze mini bundle that was also in my Bead Box Bargains haul. And then I do have just a few other little beads that I may add from another previous bead box or bargain bead box collection, and probably some charms from that same collection. Okay, so that's mainly everything I'm going to use. So if you have the Ocean Breeze mini bundle, you can follow along and we'll make this together. And if you don't have that bundle, it's perfectly fine because you can pretty much find beads that are similar in color as what I'm making here. Okay, so this Coastal Chaos stack is going to be a multi-strand bracelet, which we are going to make 3. And the beading wire is, I grabbed it from a curated bead box. So one of the curated bead boxes, I just grabbed the beading wire that they include in their box. So that's what this is from. And then I cut it in 3 parts. And it measures approximately 14 inches. And I mean, that's probably too much, but I'm always afraid that I'm not going to have enough. So I usually end up, getting way more than I need. So, I mean, and of course you can use any beading wire that you prefer, whatever you have on hand, whatever is your favorite. Okay, so the first stack is going to be the Sea Glass Glow. So I'm mainly going to use these blue crystals, and these are the 6mm. And then also these Amazonite faceted crystals. So mainly those. And then I am going to use a little bit of these peachy glow crystals, as well as some of the rondelle spacers, and then some of the little mini gold spacers. So I'm going to go ahead and put a bead stopper on one end. And of course, this beading pattern is not really going to be in any particular order. I mean, you guys know that's how I do it. And if you don't know, that is what I do. I usually just string randomly and whatever feels right and looks right, and then it all just comes together in the end. So I'm going to go ahead and string on one of these small crystals, and then one of the large ones, and then I'm just going to alternate and just put different beads wherever throughout. No real pattern. I always like different sizes, shapes, and textures in my pieces. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add the sand to our ocean water. Actually, let me take this off. Add the sand here. Okay, let me see how long this is before we keep going. Now I want my bracelet to be probably about 5.5 inches long, because we are going to put our clamshells and then also the jump ring. And if we need to make it bigger once it's all complete, then we could just add a couple more jump rings to extend it. But if we make it too big, then, you know, there's no way to really fix it aside from taking it apart and redoing it. So I'd rather it be too small than too large. Okay, and this is a little over 5.5 inches long now. So I think this is probably a good length. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that and put a bead stopper on. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and string the second bracelet. Again, here's the first. Very pretty. I love this ocean sparkle. Got the beautiful water glistening with the sun's glow, and then we got the sand sparkling. Very pretty. Okay, the next stack is the sandy shoreline. So it's going to be mainly the brown heshy beads, and then probably a few of the peach crystals, and a little bit of the turquoise shimmery beads. Go ahead and put my bead stopper on. And I do want to measure these approximately the same length. And I'm just going to start stringing my brown heshies. And I'm going to go ahead and continue stringing my sandy shoreline stack, and then I'll come back when I'm just about done and I'll show you what I have. Okay, and I'm almost done stringing the sandy shoreline bracelet, and I'm going to match it up with the sea glass glow bracelet to see if it's, you know, about the same length. Okay, we need a little bit more on this one. I'm just going to add a few more of the brown heshy beads to this bracelet to make it long enough. Okay. So with this one, I just added the brown heshy beads and the sea green crystal beads. I didn't add any of the peach crystals to the sandy shoreline. Let me put a bead stopper on here before we mess this up. Okay. That's cute. Let's see, we got one that looks a little bit longer. Actually, no, they're actually pretty good. They're about the same in length. Yeah, I think that's good. Oh, this is looking so pretty. Very beachy. So our next strand, grab my bead stopper, is going to be the Pearl Tide. So we're going to use our beautiful white pearls with, again, some of our blue ocean Beachy mix here. And I also do have, so I have my pearls, but then I have some of these white, and these are also shell pearl and ivory. So I just thought that would be nice because that's a little bit of a contrast. And then these came from Bead Box Bargains. It was the anniversary bundle, Malibu Dreams. So this was one of the pack of beads that was in that. So I thought that would be nice to use some of these. And then also I do have some charms that I pulled out from that Malibu Dreams bundle, because it's going to go perfect with our beachy theme. So I'll just go ahead and lay these down here. And I'm just going to use a mix of the pearls and the ivory pearls. And then also I'm going to use, like I said, some of the blue ocean beads and some of our gold spacers and rondelles. Okay, let's see how long this is compared with the others. I might need to add one more hashie. So that's one. Okay. I think that is probably good. And what I'm actually thinking is I'm going to put the pearls in the middle, just so then that breaks up some of the brown and the blue. Yeah, I think, yes, I think that looks good. Just like that, because that breaks it up. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and crimp one end of each of the bracelets, and then we'll crimp the other. We'll make sure that they measure up and, you know, crimp them off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And I'm going to show you how to do it, and then I'll go ahead and finish it off by myself. So you don't have to sit here and watch me do the same thing over and over again, because it is going to be repetitive. Okay, let me find my crimp tubes. Here we go. First, I'm going to take one of my clamshells, and I got this pack of clamshells. Let me show you. Pack of clamshells in all these colors. So we got gold, we got bronze, we got copper, we got black, and we got silver, like a bright silver and more of a, you know, basic silver. So all these from Amazon. And I will link that in my description box, as well as everything else, which I'm pretty sure that you can't get this Ocean Breeze mini bundle anymore. I'm pretty sure that's sold out for Bargain Bead Box. But like I said, you could find beads that are similar in color. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same exact bead. I know you can find Amazonite. And I know Bead Box Bargains does sell Amazonite because I did recently just purchase some more of those. So, yeah, I know you can get those. Okay, so I'm taking my clamshell, and I have gold, and I'm going to open it up all the way. So, just kind of, bend it down, and I'm going to stick it on my end. And it's going to feed down to the last bead. Okay, so I'm going to take my crimp tube and feed it on the wire, and it's going to go down inside the clamshell. See it? And then I'm going to take my bent nose pliers. Now make sure you do have some bend in your bracelet. You don't want your bracelet straight when you're crimping it, because then when you go to bend it, it's not going to have that bend. So if you go ahead and bend it first, so it already has that movement in the bracelet, then, you'll be okay. The bracelet will bend. Otherwise, your beads are going to hit each other if you keep it straight. There's no room for the beads to move. Okay. So I'm going to take my bent nose pliers and I'm going to place it right on top of the crimp tube and squeeze it. Squeeze it tight. So see, it just bent the crimp tube. It just smushed it. And now I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to bend the crimp tube in half. So squeeze it. See, I bent it in half. You just want to squeeze it really good and make sure that it is crimped. And then give it a tug and make sure that your beads are not going anywhere. And if they're not, then you know it is crimped nice and tight. Okay. And now we can go ahead and take our flush cutters and take it close to the crimp tube, but not too close, because that crimp tube could always slide through there if it's too close. And I don't even know what happened to that cord. Okay, double check and make sure. And now I am going to take some of my brush on glue and I'm going to brush it on. Hold on, let me cut this down just a tad bit more. Just a tad. Don't want to do too much. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to take some of my brush on glue and brush it on top of the wire that's remaining and the crimp tube. And then I'm going to put just a little bit inside my clamshell. And that's going to make sure everything is nice and tight and double secure. And now I'm going to go ahead and close my clamshell. And then we got that glue in there, so everything should stay nice and tight. And you can give it one more tug and make sure. Okay. So now we got one end crimped. We got our little clamshell here. And I'm going to go ahead and crimp the other two strands. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and crimp everything else. I mean, it's just the same repetitive thing for all of them. So I don't think you need to sit here and watch me do all 6 ends here. And then I'll be right back. Okay, beaters, so I finished crimping all my ends And then I place jump rings on each of the clamshells. And I'm going to take these larger jump rings and attach each of the strands to that. So these jump rings here are thicker. I don't know what the gauge is, but obviously they are thicker jump rings. Okay, so I'm going to put it how I want it to be placed. So I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I'll put my sea glass glow strand first. And then I'm going to put my pearl tides. And then I'm going to put the sandy shoreline. Okay, so just like that. And now we can go ahead and close this up. And this jump ring is thick, like I said, so make sure it is closed. Make sure all your jump rings are closed. And see, that's not closed. It is a little bit open still. Okay, this is really pretty. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and attach the other one. This is how you open and close a jump ring. I forgot to show you. So you want to go up and down. You never want to go out like that. Like I said, this one is a lot thicker. So now we're going to go ahead and add these on. Oh, I forgot to add my jump ring on this side. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Make sure they are all closed good. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take my large jump ring and attach my sea glass glue first, and then the pearl tides, and then my sandy shoreline. Okay, and I'll go ahead and close that up. You double check and make sure that this is flush with the other side. We don't want any opening. Okay. This is very pretty. I love these colors together. It looks very nice. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and attach our clasp. And I'm going to attach this to a jump ring and attach it to the ring here. Okay, close that. So pretty. I really like this. It looks so cute. But of course, we do have to add some charms and some dangles. Okay, now I'm going to add a piece of extension chain to this side. And I got this roll of the spool of chain from Hobby Lobby, and I will link that in my description box. Okay, like that. Okay, you guys, I really love the Coastal Chaos bracelet so far. And we are going to add a few more things to it. Now, I do have some charms and such that I pulled out of that Malibu Dreams collection that I was telling you about earlier. So this is from Bead Box Bargains, and it was an anniversary special that they had last year. So I know that this is no longer available to purchase. And actually this one, I might use it for a necklace. So I'm going to keep that. But maybe we'll add, and I am going to add these little starfish too. Okay, first I'm going to make the little starfish into a charm. So I'm going to put my starfish on, make sure it doesn't go, yeah, see it does. So we're going to have to put some kind of a bead here. And I'm going to go ahead and put one of these little gold spacers. So that'll hold the starfish in place. And then I'm going to put my starfish on. And then I'm going to wire wrap this. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and you want to space it a little bit above the bead. And then I'm going to have a good grip on my bead and then bend this toward me. And then I'm going to take the wire back around the top ring here on the round nose pliers. And then I'm going to take my round nose pliers out and reposition on the bottom. So the loop that we're forming is now on the bottom. And then I'm going to bend my wire around and then straighten your charm out. See how it looks now? So we've already created our loop here. And then I'm going to take the wire, straighten that out, and wrap it around the other wire. And then I'm going to straighten out my loop. And I'm going to take my flush cutters and cut this wire off. And then I'm going to take my pliers and smash it down where we just cut so there are no sharp edges. And if the wire wrap is a little uneven, that's fine with me. I will tell you, like I always tell you, I don't make neat wraps. I just wrap in no particular way. That's the way I like to do it. If you have a certain way that you like to do it your way. I don't want you coming on and telling me that's not how you do it. If that's how I do it and I get the result I want, then that's how I do it. There's nothing wrong with the way I do it. It's no right or wrong way. You do it how you do it, and if it makes you happy, then that's all that matters. But I do have a little sharp edge here. So I'm going to cut that off. Okay. Okay, so I have a little starfish, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other one. I have two little starfish charms. Very cute. And let's see, where do I want to place my starfish? I might want to place my starfish on the Sea Glass Glow strand. All right, let me go ahead and do that. All right, let me put the jump ring on first. Okay, I'm going to take my charm and place it on my jump ring. And then I'm going to close this up. Cute. And we'll put the other one here too. Okay. So cute. Oh my gosh, this is just adorable. Wow, that is so pretty. I love it. And of course, we are going to add some more dangles and charms, because that is my style. If you don't want to, of course, you don't have to. You can add as many charms and dangles and, you know, however you want to do it. I'm just giving you the inspiration. Okay, now I'm going to add something to the clasp here. Let's add this and a little pearl. So I'm just going to put my charm on a jump ring. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put my jump ring on my end large jump ring here. And then I'm going to put on my little charm. And then I'm going to close this up before it falls off. Very cute. And I'm going to add a pearl. I'm just going to go ahead and make a pearl charm. I'm going to go ahead and use one of these pearls, the frosted pearl. Okay, so you're going to start your loop as you've been doing. So taking my round nose pliers and placing it a little bit above the bead. Bring that toward me. Wrap it around the top and then bring it down. Take your round nose pliers out and then cross over, but then you want to stop. Now you want to leave a little bit of space. See how there's a little bit of space in between this point of the wire and this point. See? And I'm going to put this, excuse my hand, I'm going to put this directly onto the little charm loop here. And then feed this into the loop. There we go. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers and squeeze that down. So now where the loop is forming is meeting the other wire. And then I'm going to hold my round nose pliers where the loop is. Yeah, it can get a little tricky with things in the way. And then I'm going to wrap. Okay, perfect. See, so there's no need for a jump ring. The bead is attached directly to the charm. And now we can go ahead and cut this off. And smush the end down. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, cute. Okay, and now we're going to add a couple more charms because, you know, I like the whole charm thing. So, actually, I'm going to add just some, make some charms from the beads. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, this is so pretty so far. I really love this. There we go. Okay, and then I made 5 of these little charms, and I'm going to go ahead and dangle these from a jump ring. So I'm going to put all 5 on one jump ring. Okay. Let me close this and see how it looks here. There. Yes, that looks really cute. I mean, you know, I love having little dangles, you know, little beads just dangling and charms and all that. I love it. Okay, I think that looks cute there. And now we're going to go ahead and add something to this side. Let me add a charm. And I'm going to put this on my jump ring here. And I'm going to add my little pearl that I made. Okay, that is so cute. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of dangles to this too. I love all the dangles. Yes, so cute. And then see, we got our 2 little starfish here. And all our little dangles in the back. Okay. Get this straight, and then I'm going to go ahead and wire wrap my little charms and whatever that I'm going to make right directly to the chain. And I'm just going to randomly take whichever beads, just basically whatever I grab is what I'm going to dangle. Okay, I'm going to stick this on my chain. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue doing that until until I get it finished. And then I'll come back and I will show you guys the finished product. And I'm so sorry because I know there's a lot going on here on my mat. Okay, beaders, well, here is the Coastal Chaos bracelet stack. And I really, really love this. So yes, I just went ahead and added several dangles to the chain here. And then of course we have our cute little coastal Easter egg. And then our little charms over here and a little dangle right here. And then we have our sea glass glow strand, our pearl tide, and our sandy shoreline. And of course we do have our two little starfish little dangles here. Okay, beaders, well, here is our Coastal Chaos bracelet stack. I absolutely love how it came out. I really, really love the little addition of the charms, the whole dangles. I mean, it's so pretty. I love the shimmering turquoise with the beautiful white pearls and the beautiful shimmering sand. And, I just love it. Well, you all let me know what you think. And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for more boho jewelry, DIYs, and bead unboxing videos. I really appreciate you all for stopping by and watching this video. And if you recreate anything from what I've done, please tag me. I would love to see anything that you recreate from any of my designs. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.